Hello everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Passionate About Pedagogy. My name is Maddie Hendricks and I'm so glad you decided to click on this video. In this first episode of this series, I wanted to talk about my passion for vocal technique and how it really began. And before beginning, I just want to say that this is just my experience, and I know some people have different experiences, so I'm not saying that it's like my way or the highway or anything, but I just wanted to express my thoughts and my experience, and I know that some people have experienced something maybe a little different, and I just wanted to say, if you have had that kind of experience, please feel free to leave a comment and let me know. But this is just my personal experience, and I just wanted to kind of talk about my voice background and just really, first of all, say that I have respect for all teachers and singers, classical, contemporary, whatever you do. I just so admire it, and I just wanted to give my perspective here in this first episode about my time as a singer and a voice student, and it's been quite a journey, a very fun journey. So I started singing I've sang all my life, but I really started to become serious singing in high school, and I sang a lot of contemporary music when I started out. And it was so much fun, and I sang a lot of country music, so I belt out my favorite singer, Martina McBride. I would belt out her songs all the time, and it was so much fun. And so I studied with a contemporary voice teacher at that time too, and it was just a fantastic experience. I was able to work through a lot of things and learn a lot of stuff. But then around the time that I started 10th grade in high school, I started joining choir, and choir was so influential. My choir teacher really instilled a love of singing and singing classical music, and then we really started talking about vocal technique a lot and how the voice works and how do you breathe correctly and how do you shape your vowels and how that goes into resonance and finding resonance and stuff. So it was so much fun. It was so fascinating. So I learned so much in that school year. And then over the next couple of summers, I really started becoming a voice nerd and a vocal pedagogy nerd. And I started looking at videos on YouTube of choir warm-ups and voice warm-ups, and I saw a lot of different videos. But one of them was I started watching videos from this conference at Baylor University in Texas called the Alleluia Conference. It's a conference, I believe, for church choirs, church choirs and choir directors. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who's done that. But it was just so much fun, and I listened to videos on determining voice type and where would this person fit in the choir, and where is this person in the studio, in the voice studio. And what I noticed when I went back to my voice lessons, and I just noticed that it was really different from commercial voice and commercial singing. And for example, and I know a lot of this has to do with the style of music, because a lot of times I would do a lot of belting in chest voice in my lessons, and it was really a lot of more head voice in choir, and stylistically that was okay, but I learned that there was some differences and discrepancies in how breathing was taught, and especially compared to now, I have perspective of, I used to do a lot of sticking out of my stomach to breathe, and now coming at it from another perspective now, I wonder why do we teach that? I know that's kind of just an image sometimes, and I'll get to more of this in later episodes because I'm so fascinated in breathing and breath support and just differing techniques. But now I come at it in a completely different perspective. So really what I found in my voice lessons and my commercial studio was that voice classical technique was kind of given kind of a, and I use this term sparingly, but a little, it's kind of given a bad rap. Like it was, classical, you don't want to study classical technique because it'll turn you into an opera singer, or you won't be able to sing pop music. And especially now, and another thing was, why did I need staccato exercises and working on staccato exercises? And it was just so interesting. And so now I look back on it and have a really different perspective, and I'll get to that in a second. Because my passion for classical music really started to grow, and I really knew I wanted to study classical voice in general in college. So I thought, oh, well, I'm gonna, study opera and study this, study operatic repertoire and classical repertoire. And while it is true, I do study opera and classical in my voice lessons in college now. I have now come to realize that the technique that I'm studying, which is, quote, classical technique, has really benefited me in all of my voice, and has really benefited me in belting and head voice and, just my lower register. I'm really developing that. And so what I've really, I learned so much in my first voice lesson with my amazing voice teacher now, Dr. Williams, and it's just been so fantastic. I released a lot of tensions, and especially my freshman year was just such a growing experience. And so, as I said, I realized it was a lot of the same things in choir and in my commercial studio. Like, I still use chest voice, I still work on mixed. Yes, it's different. Of course, it's a different sound. But we talk about, this is how a belt mix would be done, and this is how you sing more in classical style. So it's more of, I think, a more balanced technique. So it brings me to possibly this thought that I had, and it was that the connotation of classical technique is a little, I think a little, it differs from person to person depending on where you've come from. And I think that, I wonder if there's a different term or a different way of talking about it, because yes, I feel like I'm singing classically, but yes, I also feel like this is benefiting me in so many other ways. I feel like I'm developing my whole voice, not just one register, not just one range. I think that's so important for all singers. And so I think there should be less of a divide between the styles and the genres. And yes, there isn't just one way to sing. I think that's what I'm learning throughout my voice lessons. So is what I'm learning classical technique? Is it? Yes, I think it is. But at the same time, it's really modernized, and I think the classical technique has really been changed over the years. And yes, we're still doing what the Italians taught, but it's really modifying it. We're modifying it. And I would love to go into this more in a future episode, which is what I want this series to really be. To exploring the whole voice and exploring vocal technique and interviewing different people and getting different perspectives. And I think that would be really cool. My thought was, yes, the styles are different, but the voice still functions and works in the same way. Yes, the muscles are we use different muscles, but really shouldn't we be exercising all of it? And I think it's just so fascinating where I came from, and it just made me wonder, why is it taught so differently? And perhaps I have people come on here and say, hey, this is why. It really does have to do with style, and then I might have other people that say this is really we're learning one technique and one thing, but we can still change styles. I know everyone has kind of a different perspective when it comes to that, so I'm not saying this is the answer. Perhaps I'll figure that out in May when I finish this course, and then when I go into graduate study of this wonderful vocal technique kind of field, because I'm so fascinated in this. But I really, in my search in YouTube over the summers, I found some wonderful teachers who are teaching this thing that I'm talking about, this modernized technique. You know, I'm thinking about Dr. Dan, and if you just type their names in, they'll come up, and it's just fantastic. So Dr. Dan, Karen O'Connor of Single Voice Vocals, Jeff Rolka, Claudia Friedlander, they're having so much success with this, and I'm just so inspired by them and my voice teacher and all my voice teachers in the past too. Gosh, but yeah, that's just my thoughts for this first episode. It's kind of been a deep one. These all won't be this crazy and in-depth, but those are just my thoughts, and I really wanted to express them and get you guys' thoughts, and please leave some comments down and let me know your thoughts. I think it would be really fascinating to hear some different perspectives. So for some more announcement for this episode, I'd love to do some more tutorials for this series. I think that would be really cool. Some explanations of what I'm talking about. Some clips of myself teaching singers, or maybe perhaps some clips from my voice lessons. I think that'd just be really cool to explain more explanations of what I'm talking about. And then perhaps some interviews with teachers and singers and getting their perspective. You know, what do you guys think? I think that would be a really fun thing to do. And I think this series is just going to be it's so much fun for me, because I am so passionate about vocal pedagogy and vocal technique. And so that would just be so much fun. So as far as that goes, this episode has come to an end, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great day and have enjoyed this episode very much. And I am going to sign off now, and I will talk to you all later. All right, have a wonderful day.